Hi, my name is Borys, and in this video I'm going to show you the amazing updates to the Meld synthesizer in Ableton 12.2. We have a brand new oscillator type for generating chords and a crazy new LFO effect. Both features can really push your sound design to the next level. Before we get into the video, if you like what we are doing on this channel, make sure to subscribe. We've got more content about Ableton coming up. If you'd like to learn Ableton 12 with all the foundations of music production, check out our Beginner to Advanced Live 12 Start to Finish course, and make sure to also see the Everything Bundle Collector's Edition, which includes all of the courses, sound packs and project files in our store. To see all of that, check out the video description. Alright, so let's get started. So I have 4 tracks with Meld, and I'm just going to get started maybe by loading a blank instance of Meld. So by default we just get 2 oscillators, basic shapes, and we are playing a sine wave. We can choose different waveforms over here. We have some crazy waveforms here. But today we're gonna focus on the last one. So actually when it's by default, you can just click on the left arrow and you're in the new chord oscillator. So let's just preview it. I am not locked to the scale, so this button is off, and I'm just going to play some chords. So we're just playing the major chord with an octave, and let's just mess around with the shape. Maybe I'm just going to add a bit of a filter over here. So we can already hear the chord really got way different. And we're resolving to the default position, but just higher. Now, if we dial in some shape, for example, we can now invert this chord with this second knob. And as you can probably guess, this just really invites modulation, automation as well. I don't know all of the extensions immediately by ear by just changing this shape parameter, but I think that's what makes this oscillator a bit unique. You are not supposed to focus exactly on what kind of extension you are creating, but instead you just have to listen to the sound and find something in the shape and inversion combo that sounds good to you, and you can get started from that right away. So what we could even do is just group this and maybe add 2 macros just to these 2 knobs, and we can go randomize. So we get a brand new chord every time we click randomize, and we can just get started by generating some random chord progressions. So that's still without the scale mode, but what's amazing about this oscillator is that we can now lock to our current scale. Here's a chord that I just generated. And maybe we can just add an envelope to this filter just to make it slightly more interesting. So I'm just going to add a bit of attack and a bit of decay. Let's also just map it in the matrix tab, clicking on the filter and just mapping the envelope. Maybe we can even just throw in some reverb over here, just so that it doesn't sound so dry. All right, and now I don't have the scale mode. So as you can hear, it's a major chord, but if we now enable scale mode over here and over here, this turns into a minor chord. And now we can create a chord progression. All right, and that's without the scale mode. Now let's say we are in the C major scale and just click on this button. So we can hear that the last chord now just turned into something different. All right, and now let's try the minor scale. or maybe we can even just go like an octave above. So I've just generated a chord progression just with 3 notes, just simple changes like changing the octave and just pitching around the notes because it will sound different in every single scale. So that would be the intro to what we have going on here. Now let's take a look at the first sound example we have for today. And this is also a pad sound. I just have automated both the filter frequency and we also have an LFO applied to this shape. So when you take a look at the matrix, you can see that the modulation envelope, it's applied to filter frequency, and envelope 1 is applied to oscillator macro 1, which is shape. Let's just give this a quick listen. So as you can hear, by just changing the shape, we just get a very different, little bit of a melody on top, or actually in the middle of the chord, just by modulating the shape. We just have some shimmer reverb on top and a bit of erosion as well. Okay, so that would be this sound. Now we have a very simple stab here. We are not even in the scale mode, so just simple housey stabs. And we just have the default position and the triangle wave just pitched 1 octave down for some bass, and this is what it sounds like. Incredibly simple. Most of the sound is just created with this filter. We just have the amp envelope actually mapped to the filter frequency. All right, so the third example of the chord oscillator, we are in the scale aware mode here in C minor, and we are playing a different kind of modulated pattern. We're also using LFO 1 here, but we're just going from 100% down, also for a little bit of a melody here. So let's listen. So just by messing around with shape inversion and modulating these parameters with some clever filtering, you can already get started with both creating chord progressions, but also just creating nice little melodies on top. All right, so that would be the chord oscillator. Now, one other update in Meld is the new LFO effect. All right, so here I just have a very simple saw wave, and I have a triangle LFO, and on top of that, I am adding an effect. So in Meld, you can also sort of modulate modulators. So we are applying an LFO effect on top of the first envelope, and this one is called Scrambler. It's the new LFO effect type, and this basically just chops up your LFO. If we take a look, it just takes bits and rearranges them, and you can really visually see that. And I've just maxed it out, and I'm just creating a stepped baseline sort of modulated pattern. So this is assigned to the filter frequency. Let's listen. So first of all, let's listen without the Scrambler. Really simple triangle LFO. Now let's crank up the permute parameter. And I'm sure this can be used in many more creative ways. It's just a nice effect to put on top of your LFO, and this is going to sound way different with every type of source envelope that you apply it to. The possibilities are pretty endless here. All right, so that would be a very quick introduction to the new features in Meld. I hope you found these techniques useful. Make sure to check out our Music Production Academy with start to finish courses on writing tracks in various genres. And if you'd like to learn Ableton 12 with all the foundations of music production, check out the Beginner to Advanced Live 12 start to finish course. Make sure to also check out the Everything Bundle Collector's Edition, which includes all of the courses, sound packs and project files in our store. To see all of that, check out the video description. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. If you enjoyed this video, leave us a like, write a comment, and I will see you in the next ones.